allow me to just start the recording and say hello to everybody on the recording. And we continue with Let's Talk Crypto. It's a time to learn that we started last week. And because of where the markets are and the market's going sideways, and we're waiting to see whether we've hit the bottom and whether we're going up. I listen to videos of all those guys with the loads and loads of crypto like Michael Saylor, and I listen to what he's saying and how he's talking, and they're still talking about Bitcoin going to $500,000. It's not off the table. Some people say, no, Bitcoin's never going to come up again from where it is now. It's every time that Bitcoin has a retrace, we hear that in the market. But someone with the number of, or the amounts of money into crypto that we have, like Michael Saylor, I don't think there's a lot of people managing the portfolio of crypto that he is managing. And he's saying crypto is this is just temporary. Crypto will come back and things will go well. The problem is our folk, the people in our community. Some of them are losing heart. Some of them are selling crypto because they believe when people say crypto is dead, banks are now going to overrule and regulation is going to kill crypto. Remember Asia, China, not Asia. China is out of the market. China is out of the market in big ways. And that was loads of people, loads of wallets in crypto that's sitting in that area. And they out of crypto or regulated to not trade their crypto at this moment. So there are people that are restricted at this very moment, but it's temporary. Every time that happens, it's temporary. And the key is what we want to talk tonight about is those of our friends who had Bitcoin, for example, in altcoin trader and sold it in the last, just today, Bitcoin has gone up with 90,000 Rand on altcoin trader, just for the day, 90,000 bucks on altcoin trader. If you sold your crypto over the weekend, you lost out on the 90,000 Rand added to the Bitcoin price just for the day on altcoin trade. And I just use an example. I know it's not the way to do this, but we need to protect one another. We need to be there for one another. And it's important that we talk about this. So allow me to introduce to you our resident subject matter expert at the crypto school on subject matter expert on crypto trading. Allow me to introduce to you Jason Ashington, and you all know him by now. But Jason, please say hello to the team and your first thoughts with regards to what I said so far.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, absolutely, Donnie. As we talk now, there's alarms are off for my trading view where coins are starting to break out. It's such a good feeling to hear those sounds again. And what changed this afternoon at 3 o'clock, the dollar index lost support at 97. I will be sharing my charts with you just now. At 97, a weaker dollar is a very positive force for crypto, and we've seen how Bitcoin has taken off in the last couple of hours because of that. So we are expecting a nice recovery, but we'll talk about that just now. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, it's important that we just understand where we are in the market and what's happening and what's the stuff around us, because we as a community are there to help and assist one another to interpret that and to act on that. But without further ado, allow me to introduce the young gun, the guy that started with crypto trading on Thursday this week, 1 year ago, only 1 year ago. Why do I know that? Because it's my birthday. And I had my first meeting with him, introduced him to crypto on my birthday last year. So Andre, you exactly 1 year away from starting your crypto journey. And today you are the young gun on the crypto talk. And you are trading crypto, and you have an amazing portfolio that you created over the last year, and we're proud of you and what you learned. And every week you just come and share with us what you learned in the last week. Without me saying anything more, please say hello to the team and reply to what I started off with.
Hi guys, yeah, so it's our birthday together. I'm obviously the younger one. I'm just joking. Yeah, he's actually 27, guys. It's just the crypto years that's
crypto years
taking him down. No, just joking. Yeah, guys, hope everyone is still fine with emotions and everything. And yeah, welcome. Exciting times we live in, and don't let this small dumps get to you.
Cool. Yes, thank you, Andre. And on that note, allow me to just quickly run to the crypto school. Remember, it's time to learn. Whenever there's a bump in the market, it's time to learn and go to the crypto school. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, most of you on the call have subscribed. You receive the invite to this call. And remember, once you enrolled on the crypto school webpage to get our information, you have access to this free stuff that we call free stuff. And if you haven't watched the 2 free workshops there, understand the difference between Bitcoin and money, and understand Bitcoin blockchain, that workshop, each one is a 2-hour, but fortunately you can now do that at 1.5 speed or double the speed. But please go and check them out, and go and look at those workshops that we planted there for you for a specific period of time, but it's without having to pay for them. Allow me to just get the people not to unmute, and my apology, I did not add that to the system early enough. We will not have that problem again. But yes, we want to continue with the learn, and we want to refocus with regards to what should your portfolio look like. And the key start for tonight is not your portfolio. The key is not your portfolio. If we want to learn, we don't start with your portfolio. You have to go and follow good advice and all that nice detail. But if we go in and we start with you as the person managing your crypto portfolio, where do we start? With your plan. We always say your plan should be written down. Your plan should be written down. So you should have a plan. You should have a plan on what you're going to do. If you don't record the parameters of how you're going to trade crypto, you should give up. You have to record the parameters. You have to have a plan. You have to have a reason. When you purchased your first crypto, there was a reason. In the back of your mind, you wanted to make $1 million or whatever. In the back of your mind, you wanted to use this money for something. In the back of your mind, you had a specific time frame. In the back of your mind, you selected that specific crypto for a specific period of time. Whatever the reason is, it should have been written down. And we trust that you have written it down. If you go back and you go look at our crypto talks, and you go listen to prior crypto talks, you'll find where we talked about the formula, and everything should be written down, and you should just follow that, because emotion is the big killer. And I will allow Andre to say something about emotion, hence the fact that he's now exactly 1 year in crypto. He has got good experience on emotion. But the key is you should not allow your emotion to trade on your behalf. You should not go and buy and sell stuff because of emotion. The last thing that I want to say before I go to Jason to first set up the market for us and then continue talking about this, the last thing that I want to say about this is you should have a plan, first and foremost, so that you take your emotion out of it. But a plan has got different things in it. Some of you on this call manage a little crypto portfolio, or allow my apology for the word little in there. Some of you on this call manage a crypto portfolio to take out some winnings, some of your profits at the end of every month to live off. The key is not to wait until today. You should not wait until today before you take out your profits. You should have a plan on how you're going to take that out. Otherwise, it becomes emotional again. Otherwise, you get a dip day. Now, fortunately, today, Bitcoin gone up a little, but I don't know which coin you hold. Maybe that's not a coin that's gone up a little today. The key is not to take out money on the end of the month. The key is, if you have an investment strategy, not to only put money in once a month. If you put money in once a month, if you have access to new capital once a month, do not put it in once a month, but to do multiple payments for the month. And we'll talk about all that. And all the reason why I say that is I want you to think about this. I want you to think about your plan before we start talking about that. But before we do that, allow Jason to set up and just show us where we are in the market and what are the 1 or 2 things that we should look at. What are the key indicators in the market? I know that RSI line, Jason, that's been broken. Maybe that is something that you had an alert on and something that you would like to show. But I know you have a beautiful that's shown where the RSI is broken out. But Jason, without further ado, please share with us about the market, what you want to share.
Thanks, Donnie. Let me share my screen here quickly. Okay, before we get there, I just want to show you, this is the dollar index. And I'm going to go into the 4-hour here. So this morning when I did my presentation, we were sitting at above this support line of 97. And if we go back in history, you can see how strong the dollar's got in the month of January. So we've come down from an area of about 94 right up to 97. Now, a strong dollar is very bad for crypto. And that's why we've seen crypto sell off over the month of January. And this morning, we were still above this 97. And we're hitting against resistance. And at that stage, I said I was hoping for the dollar to weaken because that'll be pro-crypto. And what's happened in the last, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, let me just go into the 1 hour here. We actually bounced off 97. We went up and suddenly we just slammed down at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we dropped below this key 97 level. And you can see how it's trending down. So this is very, very pro-crypto market. And we've seen Bitcoin take off at the same time. So this is very, very good. Okay, so let's just go back and have a look at Bitcoin. Last week, this time, we were sitting at around about 35,500. And today we're 38,409. So we've gone up about $3,000 in the last week. We've got a nice, good uptrend here. We are at resistance. You can see some wicks here. This is on the 4-hour. So we are at a resistance level right now. And what we need to do, we need to get through this, roughly this 38,400 level, and then flip that for resistance to get above that. The other important resistance points here, we've got quite a bit just above this level here. So the first one I want to show you here is on the weekly. And it is this yellow trend line that comes all the way from March 2020, Corona drop. So I've got this yellow trend line above there. And I've also got a resistance line that comes down from the middle of November, this orange line from the 10th of November, that also intersects this yellow line really at the same place. So if we do break through here, we are going to go into resistance here straight away at 39,500. We really need the bulls to now try and get this price above this level here. And the next resistance off there is about 40,500, just above that. But what is interesting here is that if we go and look at the RSI, the relative strength index, the relative strength index gives us the leading indicator to tell us what price is doing. And if we go into the daily, it's been in a downtrend since November, since the 20th of October already. It's been in a downtrend. And we hit an all-time low here on the 22nd of January, a week ago. And what's great now is that we've just broken through this downtrending resistance line and breaking to the upside. So this is very positive. If we now go and look, and I'm going to swap to another Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to go on to, let's just switch this off. I want to go into 2 time frames here, and I'm going to go on to the weekly. So the weekly, we've got here from the 19th of July, you can see we had a low point there and a higher price at the moment. Yet, if you look at the RSI, this is hidden bullish divergence. The RSI was higher in July compared to now. Okay, so we're lower than what we were in July, yet price is higher. So this is bullish divergence on the weekly. If we switch over to the monthly, you can see the same thing. We've got also hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. So the monthly and the weekly are looking very, very good at the moment. Let's just quickly have a look at the daily. You can see that RSI has definitely found a bottom a week ago and we're starting to trend up there. So the leading indicator RSI, so that is on Bitcoin. If we just quickly go and have a look at the crypto bubbles for the week. I've taken the weekly time frame, and we've seen a lot more green that we did see last week. I've only got 3 reds here, or big reds, and we've seen some nice moves here on some of these altcoins. Mana 38%, Sand 38%, Flow 45, T-Fuel 43, and then there's some smaller ones, 39, 22. So there's definitely a lot more green coming through, which is very good. The Fear and Greed Index, which measures the sentiment in the market, and this is based off Bitcoin and the large altcoins. You can see we're sitting at 20, still at extreme fear. But what does Warren Buffett say? You need to buy when the crowd is fearful and sell when the crowd is greedy. So right now the crowd is still fearful. So the indicators are telling us maybe it is the time. And yeah, it's looking very good.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. And how well done is that? A very short synopsis of where we're at in the market, and showing us that we had some upside in the last week. And if you look at crypto on a regular basis and shorter time frames, you might have missed it that we gone up $3,000 in the last week. But that's the true fact. If you go just sit back, remember what we always say: when in doubt, zoom out. And in a time like this, where we have the sideways movement, and some cryptos go up and some go down, it's important to regularly zoom out to have that bigger picture. And thank you, Jason, for that. Now, Jason, what's the next part that you're going to add to that?
Okay, so now I want to share my screen again. And what I've shown you here is the Bitcoin dominance. And let us go to the daily. Bitcoin dominance, this measures how strong Bitcoin is in the market compared to the rest of the coins. And we've seen from the 20th of October last year, the dominance actually dropped down, where money flowed out of Bitcoin into the altcoins. We did find a support area around about 39.5 in January this year, and we actually broke through this descending trend line, came back down, retested it, and we have gone up. Now, I've put in here a yellow support line. And what we need to be looking for is a clear break to the downside. Remember that the trend is your friend until it bends. So we want to see it bend, break to the downside, and we're going to see money start flowing out of Bitcoin now into the alts. So this is very clear, and it's a good sign. The other thing I want to show you here is on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Let me see if I can get a clearer one here. And I'm going to look at stock RSI on the daily. I think it was on the daily. There was a bullish divergence that I saw here earlier. I'm just trying to work it out. Sorry, I look at so many charts on an ongoing basis here. There is a bullish divergence that is formed here on, oh yeah, there, it's on the weekly. So yeah, we got a lower RSI, yet a higher price. So there's a bullish divergence on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, which tells us that Ethereum has got the ability now to possibly start outperforming Bitcoin, which is great. And that's lay into the break to the downside in the dominance chart. So all eyes on the flow of money now out of Bitcoin and hopefully start moving into Ethereum. If we just have a look at the RSI on Ethereum, it is hit oversold territory here a week ago. It is starting to trend up, and we're starting to see price starting to move up now on Ethereum, which is great. Once again, we have got this trend line in play from the 1st of December that is trending down. There is a whole lot of resistance points that we need to get through here. We've also got that daily trend line that comes all the way from, let me see the date. This one comes from December 2020. And we need to get through all these resistance lines and hopefully break to the upside here and start moving up. So Ethereum is starting to look good. So Donnie, getting back to your question around what to look for, I did say in our very first crypto talk that I expect a lot of volatility this year, and risk management is key because of the volatility. Is key. So when you do your planning, the first thing you have to write down is risk before you even put in your price that you're willing to pay for whatever trade you want to go into. Because we've seen in the last week, the market is very susceptible to any movements in the stock market. And we've seen what's happening around with the Fed and around what they're saying around the inflation, the possibility of interest rates going up. And the stock market is very successful to any of that going forward. We have to make sure that our risk is up to order, that we've got a clear stop loss in place for any down movements in price. We need to have a stop loss, especially we don't know what happens sometimes at night time. I can remember 2 weeks ago, for example, we thought the price at that stage was about 41. In the afternoon, it went up to 42. And when you woke up in the morning, it was down at 30, below 40 already. Yeah. So don't think that you do not have to have a stop loss. You need to have a stop loss. You did also mention the number of coins you trade. Remember, this market is not like 2017 where every single crypto moved up at the same time. You need to be focusing on those coins that are moving. Right now, the coins that are moving are the gaming coins, the metaverse coins. And you've got coins called the Phone, F-O-A-N, that is Phantom, OneCoin, you've got Atom, and you've got Nia. Those are 4 coins that are definitely moving quite. Yet Phantom has come under a bit of pressure last week with some news that came out. So really focus around those coins as opposed to trying to get a whole big portfolio of 10 to 20 coins. Rather just bring it down to 5 coins that is easier to manage. I don't know if you want to add anything there. Andre, you're welcome to add anything.
Jason, one thing that you hammered me on last year, October already, was the number of coins that I had in my portfolio, because I showed you my portfolio as it was set up. I showed you the number of coins that I carried at that moment on my own portfolio as well as on my wife's portfolio. And I immediately, over time, in November, beginning of December, pulled my wife's portfolio down to 6 coins. And I'm not going to disclose the number that I have because I know you're going to cut my kneecap. But it is still more than I agreed to. But there's 1 or 2 of them that I just cannot get out of at the moment. I'm sitting on my hands. I'm not getting out of them at the moment. I'm waiting for some gains. But I 100% agree with you. If we want to trade this market, if we want to go and take profit, because what we need to do this year is cleverer than last year. We're not just in for the market. We have to set our sell orders. We have to take profit, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, whatever you like, 2, 3, 4 different take profit areas. We need to take the profit off the table. If that coin is still going, we can get back into it. But we need to this year do it different and accumulate profit. And make sure that we take the profit off the table all the time and not just put that money back into the same coin all the time, because then you can lose your profit the moment that coin turn on you at night, as you've just explained happened to Bitcoin in one evening. So the key is we have to trade different, but it's, as you said, you have to have your plan. Risk is number 1. So you have to have risk, but you have to have time frames. You have to have an outcome. You have to say whether you need an income from it monthly, whether you have a 6 months window, or sorry, Andre, you shouldn't laugh that lacquer when my English goes, eh? But we should have different time frames. You should have a plan. And remember, stick to your plan. So many people, phone, email, WhatsApp, say, but listen, these coins, what should I do with them? Okay, wait, stop, go. First tell me, what was the plan? When you entered into that coin, someone said I should buy that coin. It's not a plan. So we have to change that. We have to help each other. We have to go and pen a plan. So thank you, Jason, for that. I'm going to ask Andre to jump in here, and before Jason can reply to that, Andre, give us your reply in there, and the story about the plan, and then sticking to your plan.
Yeah, guys, and that is one thing. Like, you get people that trade for a living every day, and then you get people that just only invest. And we have that great strategy of ours that you invest every month, and you split that in half. So you actually invest every 2 weeks. But I'm into how we do that. But the thing that stays the same no matter what you do is that you should have a plan and you should trade it. If you trade daily, or if you invest monthly, or whatever you do, you should have a plan, and you should, because like Donnie said, a lot of people phone me as well, and they say, okay, what should I do, because the market's so down now, like, can't they just buy everything now? And then the question I ask as well is, what is the strategy? And then they say, okay, this is the strategy. Then I say, okay, then do just what your strategy says, because that's the easiest way. And the thing is, and I've said it a lot, and everybody knows it, but the thing is, we are trading against our own emotions, and we make stupid decisions really quickly, and then we don't keep to our strategy, and that's the issue. And one thing I would just like to add there is, you get coins that you really like, and you really want that coins, and you invest in it. And then once the market drops, then you want to go out of that coin. And that is where you should ask yourself, why did you get into that coin? What is the fundamentals? Is it like a good coin? You don't worry about the price. Worry about what is that going to do whenever. Don't worry about the price. And if you like that coin, no matter what, then you can buy it. But otherwise, then it's just a trade. And for me, I don't invest unless the coin is in my 618 and 786 zone. I would only trade that coin. I won't invest it. And the other thing is, I know how people feel. You see a coin that's pumping, and like Solana at this stage, I still haven't got a lot. I just have a small bit of Solana. And you guys know the last year, like, I say I want to get into Solana, and I don't. I actually bought some because it's in my 618 zone. I'm really happy about that. But the coins will always come back. It can't go up in a straight line. It will always come back. And that you should know, because people are pumping coins, and you're like, I have to get that coin because it's a great coin, but it will always come down. It will always come down. It can't just go up. That's just how the market works. So yeah, that's emotion, guys. You have to keep your emotion straight. And if stop loss, and I think we have to think about a stop loss in a different way. Stop loss is a guaranteed sell order for the people. So it is guaranteed that someone can buy it at that price, that certain price. So we have to think about that differently, and you should know, okay, if your stop loss is there, where are you going to buy back? And I don't know, if you don't know where you're going to buy back, then it's not a good thing to put your stop loss, because you're not knowing where you're going to buy. But yeah, that's all fun and games until the market drops and you're stressing and all of that stuff. And the other thing is, I know how you feel. Like, everybody probably felt that. You're like, the market is going, and you have some cash left, and that cash should work for you. Everybody has said, I've never heard anybody ask me and told me, yeah, but I have cash. It has to work for me. It's also a trade to be in dollars as well. So when the market goes down, you can actually buy. And I said it last time, usually I FOMO in when the market drops. But I had to realize that's not the best thing to do. Sometimes it works, but usually if it drops quickly, it will go up sometime, and then it will come back to that same area. So the market isn't out there to get you, but there's only 10% of everyone that trades that makes money. And that's one thing you should consider. Every trade you get, you must realize, but there's only 10% of people that's going to make money. And sorry, I speak so much. I'm actually surprised that my English didn't ruin everything yet. But another thing you guys should know is that we are trading against institutions, and they make the market. And everybody has heard about the market makers and stuff. But they don't worry what the price of Bitcoin is. They don't worry what the price of Ethereum is. They just worry about where can they make the most money. And if it costs them to drop the market to make more money, they will do it. And that is why we have to try to invest where they invest. Okay, sorry, I'm going to keep quiet now.
Oh, thank you, Andre. Jason, reply to that, please, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind Andre, he said that a stop loss will always sell out. Andre, that sometimes I've heard of stop losses not selling people out, where they've made the trigger price and the price that you put in to sell at too close to each other, and price has actually fallen through it. So just remember that to sell, you have to have a buy. So if there's no buyers at a certain level where you put your stop loss price in, price can drop right through your stop loss. That's why it's a good idea to have a bit of a buffer, a gap between your trigger price where it gets activated and the price that you want to sell it. Good.
Cool. Yes, Jason, I agree. And for me, a stop loss, the thing that I ponder about the stop loss more than the price of the stop loss is the gap between my trigger, stop loss trigger, and the price that I put into the market when I trigger that stop loss. Because in the beginning days, I had stop losses in and I felt very good about it. And the market just left me for dead because I couldn't catch a falling knife, because my trigger for my stop loss and my stop loss price were too close together, and the market just passed me. But I've learned that lesson. And for me, when I decide where the stop loss should be, the time that I actually spend on deciding what the stop loss will be is the trigger stop loss price. But the key is how far the trigger is above the price that I put into the market when I trigger that stop loss, to make sure of that. And I told you before that on some coins, I will buy a coin and it will be part of my longer term hold. A long-term hold, I talk about 18 months window in my mind. A long-term hold coin is 18 months or longer. And if I look at a long-term buy coin, I will put in a sell order at 55%. It is something that Marius Landman said 2 years ago already, and I stuck with that. And I will ladder in 1 or 2 sell orders before that. But when I have a coin that I want to hold long term, I will put in a 55% sell order the day that I buy that coin. And just the other day again, in November, I think it was Algo that pumped up, that had one candle that shot up 62%. And my sell price was at that stage about 40% above the price that I was in at. And I sold that. And from there on, Algo has just kept on laddering, coming down, retracing all the way where it is today, still in retracement. But I sold that. I sold that coin that we talked about 2 years ago that we didn't understand, and Ampleforth. Done the same with Ample. I put in a sell order above the price that I purchased it, because I purchased it way too high. And we know it always comes back to $1, but I put in a sell price at $2 something. And because it was above the price that I purchased it for. And lo and behold, somewhere in November, memory serves me, it was November, not December, it just pumped up in 1 day up, 1 day down. I sold my Ample, and I will never buy Ample again, because I still don't understand that coin. I just this afternoon read a little bit about Ample again, something that people wrote in the DeFi magazine, in the DeFi space, about different kinds of coins. And Ample still is a singular coin with a singular strategy that no other coin is following the same way as Ample. And they explained it again, and I read it again this afternoon to try and understand it. And I actually had a little giggle with myself because of what we've done with that coin. But let that be as it may. Jason, anything that you still want to add to where we're at, what we need to do, what people should do with their portfolio, with the coins they have? Any guide?
Donnie, we've covered the number of coins. We've covered what coins we should be looking at. We need, obviously, we've covered stop losses around the risk. I think stock market is very important, that we need to keep an eye on the S&P 500, because Bitcoin very closely. We are seeing, I'm not a stock market guru, but we've seen move up quite considerably in the last month and a half. We've just touched $90. That is a resistance point. We have moved up quite a bit. I think we're going to see a slight retrace in what does drive the stock market. So we're going to see a slight retrace before it moves back up again. I think it's going to move up to $100 in the next couple of weeks. which is not good for our petrol price. But that's obviously going to cause more inflation to come through. The important thing is, once again, in March, we've got a FOMC meeting. It's called I think it's the Federal Open Meeting Committee or something like that, where they are going to be discussing interest rates once again. Now, it's very important that they do move up the interest rates in the month of March, because that'll be stock market, I wouldn't say positive, but it'll keep the stock market up, because the stock market's already priced it in. If the Fed decides not to increase interest rates in March, we are going to see a bit of a sell-off in the market. We did see a sell-off last week, Wednesday, where the market was expecting interest rates to move up by 0.25, which didn't happen. But if it doesn't happen in March, I think we're going to see definitely a sell-off in the stock market that will cause you to drop. And then we got the FOMC meeting, I think will be in May again, June, July, and then September, November, December. So it's important that you diarize those dates for those meetings, because just remember, whatever the Fed says, that also drives the stock market and obviously the Bitcoin market. Yeah, that's just another point, around that.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. And before I give over to Andre to hear what he wants to say on that, allow me to just take you on a quick journey. And this is our YouTube channel. And please make sure that you go check out the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it if you're not a subscriber to it yet. Follow us so that you get the information. And there are a few gems in there. So please go look at our YouTube channel. But also go look at our Facebook page. And you'll see on our Facebook page currently, we have the live broadcast there. So this is now going to go haywire because I am on the page while we're in the page. But go to our Facebook page, the Crypto School RSA, and assist us and help us to get the information out there. And the last one that I showed you earlier is our webpage, thecryptoschool.co.za, where if you subscribe, you get access to the free stuff. So we really try and assist and help the community to get into crypto, to understand crypto, and to be part of crypto. Andre, with what Jason has said and what we discussed this evening, what's your last comments with regards to where we're at, what people should do with their portfolios, where you are at, and what you've learned in the last week? You haven't said anything.
So I actually went and did a bit of research, and that is with staking platforms, because in this market we are at now, and I know a lot of you guys probably are sitting with coins that you don't want to sell, but why not go stake them and earn some percentages on that while we're waiting? And I've done some research, and one thing that I noted is that Altcoin Trader is actually really good with their APYs. And let me just quickly share my screen here. You can see here, just move this stuff around. So you can see here, Bitcoin, you can get 4%. You can even add in your XR. And one of probably the best performing coins now is USDT. So you can even invest your USDT. But with all jokes aside, so I went and did some research. You can even, on Binance, you can go stake your coins there. And the nice thing about, you can add it now and you can like instantly remove it. You don't have to lock it up for 30 days or even 1 day. You don't have to lock it up at all. So you can just go there, add your coins. Just note there's just this few coins and the APYs are changing all the time. And on Binance, you don't have, like, it's not all the coins isn't there all the time. Like one day it's 80A and the next day 80A isn't there to stake anymore. But obviously your coins are still staked. So just note that, guys. And that's something I did because there's a few coins that I don't want to sell and I know I'm going to keep it for a longer period of time. So why not go and stake it? And that's all that I wanted to add there. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Andre. Yes. Allow me to quickly grab you to go to Altcoin Trader. Remember, if you want to get used to Altcoin Trader, on the free stuff on the Crypto School webpage, if you go click on free stuff, you will find the video there on how to open and secure your altcoin and how to do the KYC and all that. But I would like to show you this page. Now, Andre has shown you easy save, but there's easy loans as well. And easy loans is only open for our team. So because you're part of our team, you can go look at easy loans. And once we know that the market has turned, I might go and take 1 or 2 of my portfolio cryptos that I hold in altcoin trader as long term. I will go and take a 40% loan, for example, on it, and then add that loan in that same to get the rise in the market. So I'm just going to take my face away so that I quickly show you. Now, all you do is in the URL, where the URL, if you in your altcoin trader account, you click on easy save, then the URL will give you easy save. All you do is save. You replace will. Remember, it got an S like we have on here. Sorry, I've got my mouse on there. All you have to do is the easy save. You replace with the save part, you replace with loans with an S, no full stop. And you enter, and it will take you to this page. And again, if you take a loan, you put your crypto as collateral, and you can take up to 50%. I don't advise anyone taking a loan for more than 40% to safeguard yourself. You can take a loan on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Kruger Rands, if you have Kruger Rands on altcoin trader, or silver. Those are silver coins. You can also secure your ADA and your Matic, your Polygon, your Matic, and secure a loan on that. Now, the beautiful part of this loan is you put your coins that you're going to do a long-term hold on, you take your 40%, you buy that same coin, and you stake that, add that to your stake. And that means your staking is so much less because you've taken 40% of your capital. That 40%, you buy that same coin, you add it to that. That means all of a sudden you can make a loan up to another 20% on top of the loan that you already made, and you still have margin in the loan. The loan doesn't have any term. The loan doesn't have any repayment, forced repayment that you have to make on a monthly basis. And the loan is secured immediately because they keep your crypto as the security. The moment that you click that loan and you submit your security, you can take the loan. The moment that you take the loan, they give you XR in your altcoin trader account, and you can do with that XR that you want. You can take it to your bank account. You can move it to another altcoin trader account because it's XR, or you can buy crypto with it, whatever you like. You don't even have to buy the same coin. You can buy a different kind of coin. So it's not financial advice, but maybe if you are in a coin and you say on the chat box all the time, hashtag need more money, this is a way to go get that more money in that coin. Once you've seen the breakout, the retest, and the breakout now is going, that's the time to do it. Not in the sideways market. It's not a time to do it in the sideways market. You have to have the candles printed. You want it to go up. And it is a strategy to get 40% of your same capital that you already have, 40% of that capital additionally into the market, into that coin. All you do is in future, you just pay off the loan and you keep those coins. As Richard says on his channel, if you take a loan, you buy something with a loan, it's not taxable because it's a loan. You just have to repay your loan at some point. And the key is it's not a tax event. And it's assisting you to get that capital without having to sell your crypto. Now, if Bitcoin is going to go to $500,000 and you now sit with crypto at $38,000, you take a 40% loan on it. That Bitcoin is growing and growing. At some point, you just utilize some of the price, the increase in price, because that's not profit, it's increase in price. You don't have more Bitcoin. Just take some of the increase in price and you pay off your loan. But you sit with an additional Bitcoin because you bought Bitcoin with that 40% now, which is way more than what you will have bought with that 40% 6, 7, 8, 9 months later when the Bitcoin price has gone up. And I trust that you understand that. The last thing that I would like to say is just add in your plan. If you have a plan, if you don't have a plan, you have to create a plan. But in your plan, you have to also go record your investment strategy. What is my investment strategy? I only have a lump sum. I have a lump sum, then I cannot put the lump sum in at one time. I have to ladder it in. If I have a monthly access to monthly money, like Andrea said, 500 Rand or 1,000 Rand or 5,000 Rand, or whatever the amount is, take that amount. The moment that you put that money into altcoin trader, at the same day, end of month day, the day that you pay land or your income land, put that money into altcoin trader. On that day, go buy 50% at market price. Whichever coin you want to purchase, whatever is part of your strategy, 50% of that money that you put in, you buy at market price for that day. That is for someone that's only investing once a month. Then with the other 15%, you go look at what the market has done in the last week or two, and you see the market has gone up by 5 or 10%. You then put up a price. You put in a buy order with the rest of that money for 15, 5, 10, 15, whatever the market is. Maybe it's just 5, 4, or 8% less than what the market is currently, to see if maybe there's a retracement. Because if the price has gone up in the last few weeks, maybe there's a retracement for it to go up again, because there's always a retracement. Now I put in a buy order at 5, 3, 5, 8% lower than what I've purchased these coins at market price now. I put in a buy order. On the 15th of the month, I go into my altcoin trader account. I go see if my buy order executed. If it did not execute, that means the price never retraced. It gone up. You at that moment cancel your order and you buy at that market price for that moment. You buy that coin. You forget about it. The end of the month, what happened? Your new money is in the account. 50% of it you go buy the coin or different coins depending on your strategy immediately at market price. You don't make it cheap or anything. You buy at market price. You forget about it. But then you put the order in for the other 50% for 3, 5, or 10% lower, depending on what the market is doing. And wait, the 15th, you go check. If it executed, you added coins at the lower price. If it did not execute, you execute at that price at that moment. And that's a strategy that's working for me whenever I have money to put into the market. I do it that way. And that is what Andre talked about earlier and did not explain in full. Andre, your last comments for the evening before you go to Jason.
Yeah, guys, I think I've said enough tonight. Keep to your strategy and trade your strategy or invest your strategy. Don't do anything otherwise. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Just keep to your strategy.
Cool. Thank you, Andre. Jason, your last comments for this evening.
Yes, thanks, Donnie. I think in summary, we've given the plan. The market is looking positive. These altcoins have taken a massive beating over the last 2 months. There is opportunity to get into the market, but we don't want to buy when the candles are green. Right now, the candles are green. We are expecting a retrace in the next day or two that is going to present an opportunity for us to get into that market. And as I say, we need to be buying when you see the retrace, the red candles. And the different charts that I'm looking at is, for example, the stock market, the S&P 500. You can see it's gone up since last week. It's gone up 6.5%. There is resistance here at 45.36 that I think it will come and hit, and it will retrace down. And that is also based on the oil that drives stock markets. Is at resistance right now at $90. We expect a bit of retrace here, because if you have a look at oil on the daily, for example, it has been going up since the 22nd of December. So oil has gone up 26%. There has to be some sort of retrace. It doesn't go up in a straight line. And then, as I said, the dollar index that drove Bitcoin up this afternoon, expect some sort of retest up to the break to the downside of 97 before hopefully coming down. Expect that. And then, as I said, on Bitcoin, there's major overhead resistance from 39,300, 39,500, and even up to 40,000. So there's a lot of resistance here. So don't expect us to go right through, what am I pressing here? Don't expect, let me just go back here. Don't expect the market to go straight through. Expect us to go up and then hit this resistance, come down before moving up here. And once we've come down and retested some levels here, that is going to present itself a good opportunity to get into the market.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. That was a fantastic summary of what we said tonight. And thank you, Andre. I've seen that you answered Fricky there, and I 100% agree with your answer. And ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us with the crypto talk for tonight. And I see Zolile say, this is getting clearer. as a newbie, thank you. You're welcome, Zolile, and it's lucky to have you on here. And that's why we're part of a community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute blast visiting with you on a Monday evening. And we'll have Richard D'Souza back in the room within the next week or fortnight. I'll let you know once I know, but I look forward to having him back in the room for 2022. And if there's something that you would like us to discuss, to talk about, you part of the morning call, tell us, reach out to us at the Crypto School, reach out to us and tell us what you would like to see on the Monday evenings talk. We try and keep it to content that will be in the crawl for everyone, for every person to understand and to be able to digest and use as part of the building up their knowledge and their expertise and the energy for crypto and to get rid of fear. So thank you, Andre, the young gun, for an amazing contribution tonight. Thank you, Jason, the subject matter expert on crypto trading at the Crypto School. Marius has said we must say, please tender an apology for him. He's in the school meeting and he got elected onto the board for the school. Their meeting is tonight. Marius, we missed you, but from my side, it was an absolute privilege working with you tonight. Have a good one. Cheers, guys. Cheers, girls. Bye-bye.